Faulkner. Today I'm going to share with you how I became stuck on freedom. I want to tell you that about 18 months ago, I'd pretty much given up hope that I was ever going to be able to live the life that I wanted to live. I classified myself as a failure, as a loser, as a person who really had no future, no hope. I thought that my time had passed me by and I had missed it. And I felt stuck, just completely and totally stuck. For me, I want to tell you that you never know what is going to be the pivot point, what will be the moment, what will be the turning point in your life. It was like that for me. I didn't see it coming, but all I can tell you is that my life began to change in dramatic ways one day when I was at the farmer's market and I said hello to the avocado man and asked him to tell me his name. You never know. What about you? Do you feel in your heart a certain desperation, a certain sadness that you can't get rid of? Do you need a moment? Do you need a turning point? What if that moment is right now? What if that moment is today? What if one day you look back over your life and you say, that was the day that my life began to change? You say, I got dragged to so-and-so's graduation talks and this redhead got up and she started talking. And that was when I began to understand that I could tell a whole different story for my life. What if it's today? Today I'm going to be talking about three things. I'm going to be talking about stuck. What is it? What does it look like? How does it happen? I'm going to be talking about freedom. What does that look like? How does that play itself out? And I'm going to talk about how I moved from stuck into freedom and how you can do the same. First of all, stuck. What is it? My definition of stuck is it is the inability to move forward on your own behalf. Another definition is firmly attached. If you are an overachiever like I am, you could be firmly attached to the inability to move forward on your own behalf. What does stuck look like? To demonstrate to you what stuck looks like, I'm going to sing a song. Woo! Oh, I should like to ride the seas a roaring buccaneer, my cutlass banging at my side, my dirk behind my ear. And when my captive's chains would clank, I'd howl with glee and drink, and then fling out the quivering plank and watch the beggars sink. I'd like to straddle gory decks and dig in laden sands, and know the feel of throbbing necks between my knotted hands. My slaves I'd like to bind with thongs that cut and burn and chill. But I am singing little songs, as little ladies will. Inside your heart, inside your mind, you have or you long for a life that is big and bold and glorious, full color, panoramic. The life that you wake up to every day is not like that. Stuck is when you just feel that you are unable ever to get ahead financially. It's when you have one failed relationship after another. It's when you go to a job every day that you hate because you don't believe that if you did what you truly loved, you could ever be successful. Do you know those stories? What causes stuck? I believe there are two things that cause it. The first is just deeply ingrained habit. We begin to do something at some point in our lives and then we continue to do it every day. We say the same things, we do the same things, we think the same thoughts, we feel the same feelings, and we begin to dig a trench. And as we move forward in our lives, we move forward along that tiny little trench, and it becomes increasingly difficult as we continue to do the same thing to step outside of the trench. But if we could just move a little bit out of it, we could have a different result. We could write a new story for our life. The second thing that I'm going to share about how stuck happens is that we believe our own limiting life stories. I'm a professional at this. I have, in my past, had so many limiting life stories, and I'm guessing that maybe you do too. A limiting life story is any story that we tell. Do you have a story that you've told over and over and over? Maybe only to yourself, maybe to everyone you meet, that explains why you can't, you didn't, you shouldn't, you couldn't, or you never will. Those stories cause us to become stuck. What does freedom look like? Freedom, my definition, is the ability to move forward on your own behalf. Freedom is a wonderful thing. To me, freedom is, it's like a breath of fresh air going through my stale and foggy mind. It's like morning after the longest, darkest night of the year. In practical terms, success is taking one small step after another, freedom, one small step after another that moves you out of the rut that you have been living in. It's the ability to move. David Ross, our teacher, shared recently the motto of his clan. I'm stealing it and sharing it with you. It is, success nourishes hope. I have found that to be so true in my life. Each success I take, and my successes, if you were to look at them, might look very, very tiny, but each one takes me out of my rut. Each one moves me in a different direction. So the end result will be vastly different. Success has nourished hope for me. And the main thing about freedom, for me, is that basically I'm more happier more often. How cool is that? I want to tell you some amazingly powerful tools for getting out of your stories. Actually, I really want to tell you one. And that is, question your story. Whatever story or stories that you tell, if you begin to question them, you can really learn a lot. You can change the course of your life. And I want to take a moment, I want to have a caveat and let you know that the stories that we have served us. They have gotten us here successfully. I am alive today because I used the story in the ways that I did. I'm here now speaking with you because my stories brought me here. But their usefulness for me has kind of come to an end, and so I'm ready for something different. Here's an interesting question. What if you woke up tomorrow morning and you couldn't remember your story? How might today be different for you? What if you told your story as, in the past, yeah, this happened, but it's really no longer relevant to me because I have learned the lessons that that story was here to teach me. What if I no longer use this story to define myself? I've defined myself, as I've mentioned, as in the past, as a loser, as a failure, as a person who is stuck. What if I didn't define myself by that story anymore? What might my life begin to look like? What if I told that story for the last time? And what I mean by that is, I never again tell it the way I told it before, or for the reasons that I told it before. Having said that, I just want to say again, stuck is being unable to move forward on your own behalf. Freedom is the ability to move forward on your own behalf. Questioning your stories is how you can get from stuck to stuck on freedom.